Welcome to one little corner of Avalon Springs Farm and Studio Shop. What you're looking at right now is Percival yarn. I have some down here that I can easily reach. Percival yarn is a farm yarn that's made from my animals and milled locally in Pennsylvania, just a little bit, about a 2-hour drive from me. This is a yarn that is priced so well because I just wanted people to try my actual farm fiber and see how lovely and soft and squishy it is. So Percival yarn is made from my animals, and you can see sometimes I do the dye work ahead of time and sometimes I do it natural. This one had an incredibly black alpaca in it, so it kept a lot of its intense blackness. The next yarn is one of my more popular ones called Alchemy, and I named it Alchemy because it was really fun to come up with the fiber recipe for this. So this one celebrates my animals, but I added a little silk into the blend. So it's young animals of each particular kind, the wool, the alpaca, and the mohair, no older than a year, and then silk. So this is really, really soft next to the skin farm yarn, kind of like what I think of the best nature can provide. The next one is an older yarn in my evolution of making yarn, but it was the first one that I got a lot of popularity for. The technology for this yarn has changed. This is Excalibur, and it's shiny, and I named it Excalibur because of the sword in King Arthur is thought was like metallic, and that was the poetry behind the name. But so I would call this more of an outerwear yarn by today's standards, although I wear it. But I may not have the most stringent skin because I like the feeling of wool. And this is a local Frederick wool with my own animals. But the technology that makes the sparkle thread has gotten better with time and is softer now. But I really sold a lot of this yarn over the years, and it sort of means a lot to me sentimentally because it was like my entrance into this field. Then this yarn is my first. Now it's very popular to do the marled yarns, and this is my first entrance into the marled yarns. I did 6 colors of each run by dyeing 3 different versions of my fiber. Again, you will note that it's an alpaca, mohair, and wool blend. Oops, sorry about adjusting the camera there. Oh, I didn't say the name. It's Cavalry. And I have 2 sock kits that you can get made from this various combinations of this yarn. And both kits make a large and a small sock, kind of a men's and women's, but doesn't have to be at all. And this yarn was designed for socks in that I took more adult mohair so that you didn't have to have, if you were a person that did not want fibers that were synthetic in your knitting, that you could make socks without synthetic fibers that would stand up to the task of being a sock. And there's the end of that. Oh, a little bit of a far reach for me. Oh, and then below is a bin of my hand spun. Oh, goodness gracious. Next up is my basket weaving yarn, which is a coarse spun. You can see it's, if you look at my own hand, how thick this yarn is. And I sell it in these, basically these bolts that are about a pound a piece. And I have them in many colors, like multis and solids, blue, red, black, orange. Then the next up is a trial version of my Point Shoes yarn, which is a 3-ply yarn. And you see the tiny little X's running through this yarn. So these were made with some local sheep and my mohair as well. And I don't have a ton of colors left in this particular run, but I do have some. And I'll show you a little bit more of that. This is a current run of the Point Shoes yarn. And I have been making this for a while. As a matter of fact, I really feel like my mill Gertie run was a forerunner in this particular, bringing back the popularity of this particular yarn. And I was really lucky to be at the beginning of their production of it. It was a lot of fun. I'll show you some more of that later. And then this yarn, oh my goodness, so proud of this. So this is another one of my farm yarns. Ooh, sorry about the camera. Another one of my farm yarns. This is Avalon Isle, and I've made this in this particular run in, I guess we have about 4 colors left. The natural gray and some turquoise and a traditional blue and kind of a very dark navy. Very soft, very squishy yarn. And here's the label data so that you guys can see that. There we go. I'll zoom in. There we go. It's a worsted, but it's a fat, squishy, almost Aran, maybe more Aran, but kind of on the spectrum a little in between. And then the next yarn, oh my goodness, this, I don't have much of this. This is called Pixie Dust, and this is a fun little yarn that I'll be making some more of. This is very soft because it has some cotton in it. It's my animals, but again, like the Alchemy, I decided to have some fun, and I added some bamboo and cotton to my production. And so it has kind of a natural speckled look. Oh my goodness, I have to squish it just because. And that is what I'm going to show you for today. A little focus on Avalon Springs farm yarn. Thanks.